You thought I was exaggerating yesterday? I was not exaggerating. Funding for Youth Corps, approved Youth Corps, to police your carbon. The tattletale carbon squads. You know, I guess I didn't harp on it enough in the weeks and months before this bill went before Congress. Because I sure talked about it. I sure warned people about it. I said it was nightmare legislation, which it is. 219 to 212. Total takeover, job loss across the board. They actually have the nerve to put subsections in the bill about studies on the job losses that they know are going to happen. We got Alex Jones coming up at the end of the hour. Probably going to be talking to him quite a bit tonight about this because this is just unbelievable. And now we have to really pressure our senators, who are harder to pressure than our corrupt Congress, by the way. Only 100. We got 100. How much you want to bet this thing goes 52-48 or something similar to that in favor of it? And we're just going to have to live with this thing? We're just going to have to live with a total control grid, with a one-child policy system that is right down the line. They don't say that in this bill, but it's all about cap and trade and sustainability. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And again, they're going to give funding to approved Youth Corps.
We've now gotten the bill. It's worse than even we thought. And so I'm going to be back in here later to cover it at 9:30. Stay with us.
Folks, he's not kidding. Again, they added 300 pages at 3:08 a.m. Not one person on the floor could say they read the entire 1,200-page plus bill.
They weren't allowed to have it till 5.
And they actually objected at one point. Waxman objected to somebody reading out of the bill. I think it was Bufries or whatnot. We're going to play some of the clip, or I can't remember what his name is. Aaron came in with the story. There's some hot stories right now at InfoWars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. We're on top of this bill. And the mainstream is just, I've got the Reuters article right here. Record great climate change bill. Finally passed it. House passes landmark climate change bill. President Barack Obama scored a major victory on Friday when the House of Representatives passed legislation to slash industrial pollution that is blamed for global warming. The Democratic-controlled House passed the climate change bill, a top priority for Obama. You bet this was. This is worse in many ways than the Patriot Act, by a vote of 219 to 212. You know, Michelle Bachmann, who's been very outspoken lately, I mean, she's not perfect by any means, folks, but she said this bill is a choice between liberty and tyranny. And guess what? They just voted for tyranny. This is such hardcore tyranny that people stayed for 2 hours after the bill had gone through to object on the House floor. Oh, my God. Climate change legislation still must go through the Senate. Senate were expected to try and write their own version, but prospects for this year were uncertain. So they don't even want the Senate to touch it because it is their pristine bill of control. This cap and trade system is going to get rid of your dollar. It's going to bring this nation down even further. A second world, we might be into third world status before it's all over. Meanwhile, they say this is smart growth and a smart grid. No, it's about bulldozing neighborhoods and giving them to FEMA. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Burmis. We're going to be back with Alex Jones. PrisonPlanet.tv, InfoWars.com for all the latest on HR 2544. Or no, I'm sorry, 2554. What really disgusts me about this is because it's so partisan. Republicans on one side, Democrats on the other. This isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. Do you hear what they're saying here? This is regulation over every single thing in your home, in your house, in the place where you're supposed to rest at night, where you're supposed to protect your family, okay? Giving them carte blanche on to charge you anything they want and tell you whatever they want in your house, how it's going to be built. This thing is out of control. It is going to just kill this economy. It's meant to kill the dollar. Forget about Bernanke telling you if we pass 1207, audit the Fed, that it's going to collapse the dollar and the economy. No, this is going to do it. This is going to do it in a rather short period of time, too. It's not going to be some long, drawn-out decade. We'll be lucky to get 5 years out of this. That's how nightmarish this thing is. All right, folks, we are back. And I'm just going to go through as many callers as I can in this segment and see if Alex is going to come in the next one. More than likely, we're going to play the Michelle Bachmann clip. We also have so many. I noticed that the proponents of this were also talking about world citizenship. This is about world citizenship. And this is about world citizenship. This is about taxing the globe, everybody, for being here. You're seriously not even, I mean, talk about dehumanizing. They're literally telling you that you have to pay the mafia to breathe, to have a barbecue, to drive a car, to live in a home, to mow your grass, to water your lawn.
When you can't really function,
all right, I'm only going to be in here for one segment, and Jason Burmas, the InfoWarrior, is going to be back. Got some important announcements about the show coming up at the end and the film he's working on. I sat there with my laptop computer on, which I never do while I'm eating dinner with my family. I try to at least take that time out every night to spend with my wife and children. But I did have the laptop on watching C-SPAN as the votes were prepared to be cast today with the Global Carbon Tax Initiative. The iron grip of tyranny. It makes every form of government tyranny ever seen pale in significance. It is scientific dictatorship, controlling every facet of our daily lives, every facet of business. There's the way the bill was passed, all of it, but I saw that witch, Nancy Pelosi, with fake love go up right before the vote, and you could tell she was totally full of herself, arrogant, hateful. She was breathing in the power and the butchering of this country. These are parasites. They love sucking off you. They love stealing. They use government to steal from the people, the poor, the working class, the middle class, and funnel it to themselves. And I knew then, I said, oh, my God, it's going to pass. They were saying it was going to be a neck-and-neck vote. 8 Republicans voted for it. The bill was carried by 7 votes. So if those 8 Republicans wouldn't have voted, or if 8 more Democrats wouldn't have gone along with it, the bill would have gone down. If it would have been a tie, Joe Biden would have come in and broken it. So we needed 8 people to go against it, and magically they got the 8 they needed to see that it passed. And the Republicans weren't fighting this as hard as they should have. They're clearly involved in it. The NFL, the big golfing leagues, Nike, all the big energy companies, they're all in line. Years ago, they were saying it's bull, it's made up, it's man, the global warming's man-made, but they've been told to get in line, to say it's real. It's the new global tax, and they're all behind it. And so many people that understand that global warming is not made by human activities, that it's driven by the sun and a few other things. So many people that knew it was a fraud and a lie and a horrible power grab couldn't believe that this was going to pass. And I kept telling people, this is it. Everything's going to pass. The Federal Reserve is going to be made financial dictator of everything. That's publicly in the LA Times, New York Times, but they say it's a good thing to save us. From a hot dog stand to a car dealership to the shopping mall to a barber shop to a factory to a farm, the Federal Reserve, anything financial, no judge, no jury, no Congress, they rule. And that's the regional governorship for the new financial world dictatorship openly being announced. The new bank of the world you pay your carbon taxes to. They've bankrupted the planet by design. They've set up their police states, their control grids, their bureaucracies to do this. They're going to pass their Clean Water Restoration Act to federalize every square inch of the United States, because it says all water above ground, below ground, every area has water below ground. It says no judge, no jury. They just take your property if they want. They come on your property if they want. I've watched them in Austin use this locally to steal 20-plus thousand acres from landowners and not pay them. In the last 12, 13 years, I've been fighting them here. Called SOS, Save Our Springs, the aquifer, the water under it. Had nothing to do with that. After they steal the property, they bulldoze everything, hotels, skyscrapers, 5-star salons, spas, golf courses, ranchettes, $5 million homes that the very people that stole the property actually move into themselves. I mean, it's just too sickening. It's off the charts crime. Now, we knew the bill was 200-plus pages long. We read that one, total carbon tax, total takeover, control of farms, ranches, everything. And then they added 1,000 pages and then even more pages, and some pages were put in and some pages were pulled out. We were watching at 3:15, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we had the video. And congressmen, mainly from Texas, but one after the other, would come up and say, "May I see the bill, please?" And the speaker would say, "No, you may not." In fact, Aaron's back there getting the clip ready, trying to upload it. That was on about 3:15. After the show, we were all in there watching it for like 20 minutes, not getting work done, watching it on the screen. You guys were watching. Hartman, what was it like? Turn your mic on to just see congressmen saying, "Can I read the bill?" And they would say, "No. There's one copy in committee and you can't see it."
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing.